Michael Schneider, executive TV editor at Variety.
Clayton Davis joins us now. He's the chief awards editor of Variety.
Variety's director of features, Emily Longaretta.
Variety's senior artisans editor, Jazz Tanke.
From Hollywood, it's Variety's Awards Circuit podcast.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
That is the sound of England giving up another goal.
Oh, that is so brutal. Oh my God, I'm just going to leave the room now. Have respect for me, please. My country.
Our condolences to all of our English listeners and fans of the English soccer team, football team.
It's devastating. You have no idea how.
I'm going to repeat to you a joke I said to Jessica, and we talked about it, and obviously she laughed, so it's okay. We had said, I said to her today, I was like, we went to a funeral last week, didn't think we were going to be at another one so soon.
That's dark.
And she chuckled so much. That's Jessica for you. My God, World Cup time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, I'm not a sporty kind of guy, but I've been enjoying it.
It's a really good World Cup. Can I don't know if I've ever said this to you. Do you know my hot take on why soccer is not bigger here in the US?
No.
Why?
I think it will get bigger when they eliminate ties. It is the most unsatisfying thing to watch 90 minutes of a sport result in 0-0 and people just go home like it's okay.
That's the thing, like at a World Cup level, because
ties are awful.
So it's where you rank in the group, right?
Yeah.
It's only when you get to knockouts that then it's like, now you need to have a winner.
Yeah, I know. But like everyone would tune. If we had a penalty shootout like a few times a month, like people would so tune in for that. The penalty shootouts are awesome. Like I just think it's been a big misstep of MLS here in the States.
But sorry, go ahead.
Because that way, no one's a loser. Everyone's sort of just
and that's what I hate the most. I was like, someone lost this game, and it's the fans. Not
during the regular season, regular games, somebody has to win, so we'll always go into extra time.
Yeah.
So.
That's my hot take.
But I love how it's united everybody. Like, I feel like so many people have just
did it.
I mean, I haven't had fights between, Yeah.
No, it does. I mean, it's I've never felt so conflicted of watching, hands down, the worst red card in history happen with our U.S. player being given a red card, and then find out he was being put in the next game and wasn't suspended, and being like, damn, we deserve to lose.
Well, and also, I mean, that's where, as much as I've enjoyed watching some of the World Cup matches, there's always that feeling, that pit in my stomach of, do I really want to support FIFA, this corrupt organization led by this awful Putin-loving, Trump-loving man?
Right.
It kind of just leaves me with such a bad taste, but
you do it for the love of the sport that you're watching, and the country camaraderie is fun, but we can have definite problematic things about the organization as a whole.
Yeah.
But that brings us back to time of recording is on Wednesday, so it was just moments ago that we watched the Argentina-England match. Jazz.
I'm so sad. I'm so depressed.
Dare I say, that was pretty messy.
Oh my God.
Someone said, one of the commentators said that during the show, during the game, and they were like, no pun intended. I was like, that was definitely pun intended.
They knew what they were doing.
That's pun intended. Listen, I was rooting for Argentina, and I still felt terrible for England. A friend of mine said it best when he called me after. He said, I don't know how much more Argentina can get away with this, because I think the last 4 games they have been down and then come back and turn it on for 5 minutes.
Yeah, literally.
And then win a game.
That's what they do.
And that's rough.
I think we went home after we scored the goal. It was like, you could see the game. It was like, where's England? Like, come on, you guys need to be fighting.
Yeah, they thought they had already won.
Yeah.
And it looked like they had.
I mean, listen, for the first 35 minutes, I thought it was going to turn into a blood brawl. Like, I was waiting for someone to throw a punch, and then that didn't happen. No. But what a game.
Yeah, and on the flip side of talking about why soccer hasn't made a bigger impact in the U.S., it really is starting to, and I think the end of that game once again helped the cause because that was an exciting final few minutes.
World Cup always gives I think there's always an uptick in people getting their kids in soccer after a World Cup. I'm telling you, the best game, I think one of the best games I've ever seen in my life was Argentina versus Cape Verde, and if that didn't inspire some kids to grab a soccer ball, because I don't know if you know I played soccer in high school. So there was a time I was not chubby, and I could run for so long, for 90 consecutive minutes. I used to be so in shape.
Sliding doors, you could be in the MLS right now.
Oh, you wouldn't even believe it. But no, soccer is my favorite sport. I love it so much. I love it more than baseball.
There you go. Also, shout out to Telemundo with the best commentary.
Always.
Watching, there was, I think I discovered that during the first Mexico game, and it was wait, this is the best way to watch it.
Yeah. That's my son has been saying that, so we've been watching because of him, Telemundo, and getting those Andres Cantor moments.
Yeah,
you live for that.
Yeah.
So, Sunday is the end. This the final does feel like. I kind of like the fact that, unlike the Olympics where it really does seem to go by so fast and, we're really in it for 2 weeks and suddenly it's already, or 3 weeks and suddenly it's already over. It does feel like we've really baked in with the World Cup for a while. So it's kind of like, all right.
I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah, it's time for it to end. And that should be huge. And that ridiculous halftime show, which in 11 minutes, they're going to cram in Madonna, BTS, Justin Bieber, Shakira,
Tom Cruise.
Somehow. The Muppets.
Did you see that Digger commercial during the game today, too? Yeah, I was like, Tom Cruise is already in Oscar mode, and I love it.
Gustavo Dudamel. I mean, it's and a couple of orchestras. How are they? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'll try to watch. Usually I will walk away and usually I'm stressed out or something's going on. But listen, you want to try to make a Super Bowl halftime show, 11 minutes ain't the way to do it. But
yeah. Well, they have to protect the pitch.
Yeah.
So that's important.
So we are, one award, the soccer award, will now transition into TV awards because now we are in phase 2.
Yeah, and we talked a bit about it last week and some of the surprises and what we thought, but we didn't get your take on the pod last week, Clayton. So, real quick, what was your biggest surprise?
Hands down, Your Friends and Neighbors being a sole nominee for drama series only. First show in history to have one nomination as a drama series.
I mean, it's the big one. It's the one you want, but
and listen, Nobody Wants This literally almost did that too because thanks to music supervision, it has a second nom. We are in interesting times because I have a story on this coming up, so I'm going to kind of spoil a little bit. There's an interesting fact here. 7 of the acting nominees are the sole representation for their shows. And it's the largest amount of that since 2015. So in these recent years, what we see with the Pitt, they usually just go down the line. If they like your show, you're in every category across the board. And we saw a lot of one-offs. And I'm trying to kind of figure out what that means.
Well, isn't it? I mean, partly because you mentioned the Pitt, and it's because they're giving everyone on the Pitt a nomination. And so by the time you basically nominate everyone except for Issa Briones,
crazy.
Then
I always feel bad for the one who just doesn't make it.
And that's a weird one. That's a weird one for her not to make it. But
what's funny? Remember, I don't know if you remember this last year when we sat here and did final predictions for winners. I said, guys, I'm predicting Carrie Coon, but I know I'm wrong. It's Catherine Lanasa.
Yeah,
I had that same moment. We didn't meet for the pod, but it was 3 days before, and I had Supriya, and I said, guys, I know I'm wrong. It's Fiona Dourif to a friend of mine. I was like, I just know it is, and I messed up. It's not, and then it was. So many Nepo babies this year, man. Nepo babies are thriving.
I mean, it's the new generation, right? Gen Z Nepo babies. But
Your Friends and Neighbors was the biggest surprise. Yeah. And I think next in line probably was Jamie Bell missing for Half Man.
Yeah, well, in Half Man.
Yeah.
Missing.
Half Man, one of the 7 sole nominees would not have thought that would that would have been it.
Yeah, was definitely not expecting that.
I was saying, like, the whole thing is, like, so many of those shows were dark. Like, Half Man was so hard to watch. Like you said, like, you have to get past that first episode. And then, like, Chase Infinity being nominated, Testament's missing. And then Lord of the Flies completely missing. It's just like, people didn't want dark dystopian. I
think also, I wasn't here, and I don't know if you guys realize this. I found out why there are 4 directing nominees for a limited series, because that was something that just aesthetically bothered me. And I didn't know why. The reason was because there was a 3-way tie for 5th place. So instead of having 7, according to Academy rules, they cut it, and it's just 4.
Which it sounds like they're just making it up as they're going along when they say something like that, as opposed to just put 7 in then.
Like we have 115 categories that 2 extra slots does not dilute this brand now.
That's the line. Yeah. Finally, that was a bridge too far.
Yeah.
No,
which now has just been racking my brain. So what do you think was in that 3-way tie? And I know one for sure has to be Antonio Campos for Beast of Me. Like, he definitely was one of those 3. But I think the nominations were good. Hacks breaking the all-time record surprised me. I knew it was going to do well, but that was, that was surprising that it did that well.
For a show in its final season to do that, too.
Yeah, I thought it was going to break just that record, just the most noms in the final season.
Which would have been big enough, but overall was incredible. And that goes back to what, between all the nominations that Hacks got and all the nominations that the Pitt got, that's why you're not seeing more nominations for these single shows like Nobody Wants This or Your Friends and Neighbors. There wasn't room because everyone was nominated from Hacks. Everyone except for Isa Briones. Was nominated for the Pitt.
Does that one keep you up at night? You're like, damn, man.
It kind of does, but so it's kind of interesting the tale of the haves and have-nots. But you're lucky to even get one nomination in this era where there's so many shows and so many limited spaces for all of these shows. So the conventional wisdom, speaking of the CW, not to be related to the TV network, but the conventional wisdom is that Pitt did it, Hacks did it. Limited is a little more open, but is there a door ajar for spoilers? Is there a door ajar for some of these other shows to kind of creep in and perhaps sneak in and take away the obvious wins for the big shows?
1,000% that, because listen, we know how this works. It's never. I'm actually pulling up a stat that I found about how often, when you are the most nominated series, do you actually win?
Oh, is this a percentage?
I did
let's
the
play
research,
the game.
and I didn't even think about that to actually be my question.
Because that is an interesting question. Like, is that actually, in some ways, maybe hinders you because people are kind of tired of you once you sort of dominate to the point where people are looking to maybe do something different and everyone's going to vote for this show, so I'm going to go contrarian. But if too many people decide to do that, then suddenly your front runner is no longer your front runner. So,
pulling up here. I believe it is.
Wait, what, are you gonna have us guess?
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh yeah. Keep talking about it because then I'll find it by the time you're done talking. Give your guesses and why you think.
All right. So percentage of time. Wait. So what is the question again? It's percentage of time.
Like when you're the most nominated series,
like Pitt this year.
How often do you win? But I think even an interesting thing that I also found, when you are the same network that has the most nominated comedy and drama series, how often do you win both? That's even a little more
like HBO percentage wise,
just out of those times that it happens, how often does you just give a percent number because that's how I did it.
Okay, so for the first question, I'm going to say, because generally if you're the most nominated, it's going to carry through. I'm going to say 82% of the time.
I was going to go in the 80s too. Like I feel like it's a high.
Or you do Prices Right and you just say lower. Just go 81.
What did you say? 82?
82.
I'm thinking 85. Like slightly.
Okay, you're going a little higher. All right. And then the other question, Clayton made so complicated.
No,
I'm like, I don't know what this
and
is.
when you're the same network like HBO,
So HBO Max,
and you have the two leading,
yeah.
So the leading drama and the leading comedy. How often do you win both?
I say 54%.
Oh,
Randomly.
That's a good number.
Straight up 54.
Okay, I'm gonna say 54.5.
Price is right.
53% of the time. Wait, is it better to go over or under on Price is Right?
You want to go under,
right? Okay.
Yeah, you have to do
53.
one. You have to do
$1.
$1.
I'm doing $1.
But God, it's
Wait,
not,
if you're still looking it up, you should come up.
No, I have it in. I have because I had this whole program thing. Let's go to the next thing, and then I will. I'm gonna reveal it at the end anyway. So I don't reveal it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep looking.
Yeah.
Keep looking.
But let's start with drama.
Okay,
so yes, all signs point to the Pitt being the front runner.
Yeah.
And we talked a few weeks ago, Mike, you had said to me, how are you predicting Pluribus? And I said, Pluribus, there's kind of a number in my head that it has to hit that I think then it could beat the Pitt. The Pitt didn't need to do what it did, but it did what it did. Mm-hmm. So Pluribus had a very good day.
18 noms. I mean, that's huge.
18 noms. And what's interesting is that the Pitt and Pluribus, neither of them double dipped in directing and writing, which is interesting. I think, again, it's kind of a little even-ish, but I think it really points to that the Pitt's going to do it again. Yeah. It will be the 5th show in history to win for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I can see that. There ain't no stopping the Pitt. Comedy, I mean, I know you've left the door open a little bit more with a surprising second choice, because throughout phase 1 we were talking about Shrinking as being the spoiler, as a potential backup. But seems like that mood has shifted over to another Apple TV show.
Can I say, when I saw the noms, it's very interesting. So here's another stat question that I'll ask. Can you think of the last show that won comedy series, then lost, and then came back and won again? So won and off, not consecutively.
Wait, didn't we say there was that the other, a couple of weeks ago when we were doing...
Did I? Would it be a show that went off, wasn't eligible for a season?
It was a show that won in a particular year, then it came back, didn't win, and then it won again somewhere down the line. So it just didn't win consecutively, which Hacks is, it won for season 3, it did not win for season 4, and many people are expecting it to win for season 5.
I feel like it's a Seinfeld or
Frasier
or Cheers. One of those 3.
You were closer with Frasier. And here's a hint. That last win for this show was a final season win. So it won 2 seasons before and then lost, and then it won again for its final season. Around Frasier. Somewhere around that time.
Would it be Everybody Loves Raymond?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Everybody Loves Raymond. So that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this is a final season of Hack, so it does fit that mold. But there's something weird about it.
Well, the other different thing is, in the age of Frasier, Everybody Loves Raymond, it was the same shows every year. You didn't have shows take a beat, take a year off, a big winner disappear the following year. And obviously this year, the incumbent winner, the studio, is not eligible this year. So that allows Hacks to come back in. If the studio had been eligible this year, then there's a good chance the studio would have won it back to back, depending on how that season was, obviously.
So what I'm saying there, so I bring that up now to talk about Widow's Bay. And there's 2 things about Widow's Bay noms that leads me to believe that it just might do it. 3 editing noms.
Huge.
3.
Yes.
It's an obscene amount of editing noms. Editing just really connects to series categories. I don't have those numbers off the top of my head, but it's just very indicative. Where everyone else got 1, it got 3. So there's that. But I think the secret to who's going to win comedy series is who you believe wins supporting actress. There are 2 Hacks girls and 2 Widow's Bay girls. Whoever wins that show is the one that wins, and I think Kate O'Flynn just might do it.
Interesting. I wonder if she's still well known enough.
I don't think she's very well known, and usually that is it's a hindrance. But in the past few years, the TV Academy, and we've seen the Emmys do this, they do like to embrace the discovery, quote unquote, of someone. And Kate O'Flynn's been around before, but like not many people know. But like she's weirdly kind of like this year's Tremel Tillman. Like just a discovery that people went, oh my God, you're like amazing. And I think what's interesting about Widow's Bay is that we know this, TV Academy members probably don't. The whole season isn't even eligible. It's only the first 7 episodes.
Yeah.
So, but I think Dale Dickey being nominated here tells me they didn't care. This is the Bear syndrome. They didn't care because Dale Dickey's biggest episode, it wasn't even eligible. So she's going to get screwed when it comes to Emmy submissions because it's not a spoiler, but Widow's Bay, Dale Dickey's big episode is her presentation over the projection. So I think she got in for that because they were watching it during voting, but it wasn't a thing.
But it's not eligible.
It's not
really
eligible. So she's going to get screwed for Emmy submissions. But Kate O'Flynn, I think when you get to episode 4, which is one of the ones is it one of the ones that's nominated for Eddie? I'm not sure. But I think it's pretty much her standalone episode. It is incredible work.
Yeah.
And yes, Hannah is a reigning champ. I guess you start thinking to yourself, can Megan siphon enough votes from her? Or does Dale Dickey siphon too many votes from Kate O'Flynn that costs either of them? So they're kind of on even plane is what I'm saying.
And that's how Michelle Pfeiffer wins the Emmy.
Actually,
in that category.
And a little bit, maybe, also, first time that Janelle James will be here by herself and not with Sheryl Lee Ralph.
Oh.
And I wonder.
Does Janelle do it?
If Janelle finally just does it. Because it's the only I think, I love Abbott. Call spades spades. I think that's the only category that's in play for Abbott. So if you want to throw Abbott a bone, that's a pretty great bone to throw it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those purity choices that people will be like, hell yeah, like you should have done that.
And it was a great season for Ava too.
Ava, for 2 consecutive years, I think she's been the standout of Abbott.
Well, let's look at the drama supporting categories because that's where it's just pit after pit after pit. So what does that mean for supporting actress where you've got Taylor Dearden, you got Fiona Dourif, you got Catherine Lanasa, the reigning champ, you've got Sepideh Moafi?
Sepideh Moafi.
So all from the pit. And then, of course, they're up against Julianne Nicholson, Carolina Widra, Allison Janney. And then on the actor side, from the pit, you've got Patrick Ball. You got Sean Hattasey. You've got Garen Howell, along with, competition from Pluribus and Task and Slow Horses and The Morning Show. So do those pit folks all kind of cancel each other out?
So interesting about this, where I've been racking my brain. Supporting... So are you looking at supporting actress or just both supportings?
Both supportings.
Okay. So supporting actor, I think is very interesting because that is the lineup is kind of weird in that I think any of the 7 are in play. Like, except for, unfortunately, maybe except for Garen Howell. I don't think he can win, but I think everyone else can. And the reason I say Jack Lowden probably can win, because I have a theory that I've shared here before. For 2 years now, we've watched Slow Horses win an egregious Emmy that no one is expecting.
There's always one.
Will Smith winning.
It won directing. It won directing last year, and it won writing the year before, beating Shogun. Directing last year, it won beating Ben Stiller and The Pit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Jack Lowden, maybe it's your turn. So, but say to that, I think that any of those people are in play. Now, Sean Hattasey is a winner in another category. Can they default to him? Sure. But maybe they start, breaking up some stuff. Tom Pelphrey becomes a good thing to give Task. Task Miss Drama Series, if you kind of want to throw that, something gets also nominated for directing and writing. That's possible. Supporting actress is where...
Well, real quick on supporting actor, though, or do they just default to Billy Crudup because they always give Billy Crudup the Emmy?
So I would have said that if Billy Crudup wasn't one of those 7 as the only nomination for his show. Mm-hmm. And, listen... I still kick myself last year that I didn't stick to my guns about Kathy Bates being the only nominee for Matlock and not predicting her. And I still predict her in the end, begrudgingly. I don't think I can take Billy. but he is Billy, so that is what's helpful for him. But I think if I was betting, I'd say Tom, Sean, Patrick are probably the most in play. Supporting actress now, this is where it gets difficult because I have this stat too. When a show, a season, actor wins for a show, how often do they switch to another actor from the same show? So the Modern Family approach, right? They did Eric Stonestreet, went to Ty Burrell, then went back to Eric Stonestreet. It's very difficult to kind of do that switcheroo. Mm-hmm. But I think Seppi especially is so much in play. I think people really respond to her this season. I'm kind of wondering if they're just going to cancel each other out. But then I don't know who number 3 is. Because I think it could be Allison Janney. Because she's Allison Janney.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. She's won 7.
So 7, yeah. And she would tie the most, or she'd be one short? She would tie for the most, yeah.
Yeah. No, she would tie, I believe.
And they really love that show. The Diplomat, voters.
They liked it more this year. For sure.
Yeah,
because that was the big thing was, it got 2 noms last year and one of them was not Allison Janney, but it got 7. So I think that's definitely possible. I think that Taylor and Fiona, I don't think that Julianne could be a good representation for the show. This one's these 2 supporting categories are gonna keep me up. I think it's hard, and the Crown obviously did switcheroos, but that's different because they were playing the same character. It was different actors over different iterations, and I was thinking this before, and this is obviously the whole thing between the Pitt and Pluribus argument. Pluribus obviously did really well, 18 nominations, great. But if I'm really thinking about it, of what is Pluribus really in, what can it win on the day, right? And Ray Seahorn, definitely. Think directing seriously on the table now. I think it's more on the table than it's ever been, only because only Noah got directing, which I thought that was a shocker that Noah was the only director to be nominated from the Pit. So I was just because I just thought they would do Scott.
Yeah,
that's what you would do.
Kimmel.
Yeah.
And then writing, I guess, is somewhat in play, but also could be Slow Horses because that's what Slow Horses does. So I think about that. If Pluribus wants to make a play for a drama series, I think it needs one more win. And I think Carolina Wydra would need to present herself as a possibility. And I don't know if I'm there yet. Because that would have to be Pit Lady splitting. She comes up the middle because she's paired with Ray votes. Might be really hard to do that, but that was just something I was thinking about. That's how Pluribus can win. It needs something else big. I don't know what that would be.
All right, well, we're still at the early stages of phase 2. Anything can happen.
So here is some...
All right, here's our answer.
Drum roll.
There's some shocking stats with this because I pulled all this up. So when you are... the same, by the way, this is the first time in history, I didn't peep this till right now, so HBO, get ready, I'm giving you a shout out. This is the first time in history HBO has had the most leading drama and comedy categories.
Wow.
It's never happened before.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
The last time it happened was Netflix in 2021. So when you are when you have both categories, they win 46.2% of the time, 6 out of the last 13.
So that was under because I did my
You
dollar.
went under, yeah.
So the last time it happened was 2000. NBC won both.
You were right to go low.
By the way,
Must-see
NBC did
TV.
it in 2000, 1997, 1996,
Wow.
1983. CBS did it in 73 and 59. They're the only ones that have done it.
Yeah, with NBC, you're talking about like height of the must-see TV era.
And
where
when
they were just
there's there also isn't a lot of other competition.
Options.
So when you are the most nominated series, period, so that is now the Pitt, you win 56% of the time, 41 out of 73. Interestingly,
that's, by the way,
That's
much lower than what we were
low.
expecting.
so last year Severance lost, but from 2024 going back to 2017, the leading show won. Game of Thrones, Watchmen was a limited series, but it won. The Crown, Succession, Shogun, and then Severance lost. 2017 Saturday Night Live was the most nominated show that year.
Oh my God.
And I think it won whatever variation category it was
of
in.
the variety.
Yeah.
So you have to go back to Game of Thrones 2014, the legitimate drama leading contender had 19 noms, and it lost. So
So it's been a while.
12 years ago.
That's
Wow.
yes. That's why I think it's just the Pitt.
It is.
I mean,
we are living in the pit.
Severance obviously was like, I mean, it just happened, but that was kind of, and we know that was a tight race. I don't think Pluribus is going to be as strong as Severance was to put up that fight, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I didn't know there was going to be math, but I think
There you
we
go.
did okay. No, actually, we didn't.
The first one you did.
The first one we did
The
well.
second one you
we
were
went
off.
too high.
All right. Well, thanks, Clayton. Thanks, Jazz.
That's my nerdy
Thank you.
stuff for today. More math next week.
Study up, kids.
That's how to bring the kids back to the pod. See you next week.
Bye.
And that's it for this edition of Variety's Award Circuit Podcast. If you've got questions for the Award Circuit Podcast Roundtable, drop us a line at the Emmy Emergency Hotline, 323-617-9110, and you may appear on a future episode. Be sure to subscribe to the Award Circuit Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you download podcasts. Also, head on over to Variety.com and click on the Award Circuit tab to find the latest awards predictions and key races, as well as your daily fix of news, analysis, and reviews. For Jazz Tanke, Emily Longaretta, and Clayton Davis, I'm Michael Schneider, and we'll see you on the circuit.